But the main thing is that I'm listening to myself and I'm working with my energy and not like forcing myself into this box of what business should look like.
Welcome to Here's What I Learned. I'm your host, Jackie Hayes, system strategist and operations support specialist. Each week, my guests and I share the lessons we've learned about making value-based decisions, leading our teams in new ways, and rejecting traditional business advice when that advice doesn't align with the life we want to live. If you're a solopreneur or small business owner tired of the same old scale for the sake of scaling way of doing business, then you'll want to stick around and take a listen. So put in those earbuds, get your morning mile started, and enjoy the episode. Amanda Gold is a life coach and artist with a background in social work, community building, and advocacy. She uses a trauma-informed, inclusive, and spiritual approach to help people become truly free, whatever that means to them. When I asked Amanda what talent she would showcase on America's Got Talent, she told me it was boot stompin', punk rock buskin' on her acoustic guitar. Take a listen to the conversation I had with Amanda. Well, welcome, Amanda. I would like you to start off with telling the listeners what it means to you to be running a business your way.
Oh, okay. Well, Jackie, you've helped me a lot with this and figuring it out. I love how you help us do that. But for me, if I had to pick one thing, I would say it involved not having silos in my life, meaning it's not business over here and then my art over here and spirituality kind of back here. Doing business my way has really meant that it's all spiritual, it's all art, it's all creative. And I have to take care of myself and enjoy the process along the way and trusting that that is allowed in business, right? Allowed, quote unquote.
So basically what you're saying is allow yourself to be yourself in your business?
Exactly. And yeah,
you're saying these things and I'm like, this is who Amanda is.
Right. Business can be, there's not a business Amanda and an art Amanda. It's just Amanda and, or whoever, it's me. And just doing the work to realize that that's acceptable, that people want that it's good, that you can make money doing that you can be considered. Like a big part of doing business my way has also been redefining what's professional for myself and realizing like I'm still a professional, even if I swear or even if I wear shirts with eyeballs on them instead of blazers, right? Even though I don't love a good snappy blazer once in a while. So yeah.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that because I was like immediately going to say something about the word professional and how we have such a hang up of what it actually means to be professional, present professionally, etc. I was just having this conversation with my family yesterday because we were talking about Black women and their hair and how often they're told their natural hair is not professional. So a lot of times professional actually is a word that has far more to do with racism than anything else.
Seriously. Yeah, that's a really great, unfortunate, enraging example of how that's been used against people. And but yeah, like having the awareness to look at like, where am I taking someone else's definition of what business should be or professionalism should be and like applying it to myself, and how can I reclaim and redefine things and do it truly my way.
Yeah. So when did you get into business for yourself and what did that look like initially? And then how has that evolved as you have become more comfortable with doing it your way?
Okay. Well, I was working for Ace Hardware.
I did not know that about you. Learn everything. This is why I do podcasts.
Yeah. So I had just graduated from college. Yay. And I had done it full time. It was super rigorous, full caseload. We were trying to get it in under the financial aid wire, like before financial aid ran out. And so after all of that contemplative learning and expanding my mind, I really actually craved just a 9-to-5 job. And then I did it for about 6 months and I'm wearing my little red vest and hating everyone and just like being bossed around and realizing like that was kind of the last straw about I truly cannot be an employee. And like, even for a career that my degree was for, like, I realized I just can't work for other people. And then COVID hit while I was working there. And so it was kind of this jumping off point of, it's now like, why don't I just go for it now? Why don't I just start my business? When I was in school, I had been thinking about becoming a life coach and I had been benefiting from being a life coach. Part of the Ace Hardware thing too was I had been a social worker, it was a real big girl job and I was really burnt out from that still. So it was kind of a pause point. And yeah, business at that time, I laugh too, because when I started my business, I just have this picture of me. I did this a lot where it was just me and my laptop and me like literally with my head on the desk, just like, I don't know what I'm doing or what to do next or like, what even is this? And it was a lot though of trusting synchronicities and trusting myself and just being willing to try something like, okay, here's my best guess about what I could try next. And then doing that. I was on YouTube telling people I could coach them. I got a scholarship to this start your business kind of program, which was really fortunate. And I did that. And then I just found mentorship. I really pieced together a lot of free resources until I was able to invest in myself. And then it just sort of snowballed from there. And I am happy to say I am much more comfortable and in it and enjoying it a lot more these days. It's been about 3 years now, I guess.
Okay. So from that day one until now, like what changes have you made in your business so that it is more supportive of you as that whole ass person?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, a big one that jumps to mind is I really had it in my like part of doing business my way has been learning to let go of ways of doing things, even if they served me at first. So I love all the mentorship I got, but I had to let go of some of the structures they were kind of presenting for me to follow. And one of them was fully booked coach being 20 clients a week. And I really strove for that. And I could get emotional just thinking about that. Like my energy levels do not support that. And so fully booked for me really looks more like 6 to 12 clients a week. And so that's one example of how I've really loosened up. I had to build more space into my schedule to be supportive of my energy levels, the way my brain works. Um, yeah, that's one. And then two is prioritizing my spiritual practices and the things that make me a whole ass human. Like I feel like my creativity and my spirituality are kind of one and the same. So bringing art back on board. When I first started, there was this really clear line that I chose coaching over art because I really believed I needed to focus on one thing and master it. And I think that served me really well, but also I've accepted that I'm a person with a lot of interests and that doesn't have to be a flaw or a handicap. So I've been weaving art back into it and making it a priority and part of my business, not something I get to do on the side once I become a successful life coach. Right?
Right. Right. That first one, I don't know how many times I've worked with coaches who are like, I'm supposed to have 20, and that's just too much, but that's what I'm supposed to have. And I'm like, who said you're supposed to have that? And let's do the math on that. And 20 is a lot,
It is.
especially if you're also trying to grow your business or just run your business because you got to add hours on top for that. So you're now a full-time job again. So
Seriously. And that's been like giving myself a lot of permission to slow down and back it up. And what you just said is so true. Is like I wasn't just learning how to coach, like to be good at coaching and have clients, but I was also learning how to manage my time and run a business and be my own boss and also be a good employee and also be human resources and admin and accounting. And like there's all these jobs. And yeah, 20, yeah.
that's too much.
It's too much. And it is good to ask who says. And even if you really admire and respect the person who suggested it, you still get to filter it through your own life and decide, is that good for me right now?
Yeah. Um, have you done human design?
Yes, I'm a projector.
Oh, really? I would have gone with Manny Jen because of your multi-passionate and stuff. But projector doesn't actually surprise me either.
I think I tried to be a Manny Gen and and learning how to actually be a projector.
I actually know a lot of artists who are projectors. So,
Mhm.
um, but that besides the point, you said
Okay.
that you're learning how to, bring your art into your business. I am curious because sometimes people hear that and they're like, I still don't understand. Is
Huh.
there a tangible way that you could describe how you're doing that?
Yes. Let's see. I'm like, yes, I think. One is art as process that supports my nervous system and my ability to be creative in my business. Meaning, if I give myself time for art, it doesn't even necessarily have to be used in my business or shown or a part of it exactly. But the fact that I take time to be an artist and be creative and make art really makes me a better CEO and coach, right? So I definitely noticed that improvement. And then, like, I recently just launched my intention vortex thing, this one off cool coaching meditation session that I do. And I used my punk rock art roots in that by making flyers for making art and stuff for the whatever, the promotional materials, I guess, the marketing. Sorry.
Yeah.
My words are leaving me. Um, so incorporating it that way too. Like I did a pitch on a stage at Creative Mornings. And so I made my background and my coach and friend that I was working on it with, we were talking about think of it like a big tarot card or think of it like your big, like a poster. And so even thinking about how to make things more through an art lens really helps and helps make it more me.
Yeah. Well, and I know we've talked before too about you were talking about incorporating like the circus element or the feel or vibe of circus in some of your things. And that is, we often think so like, this is what it's like to do a group program and you do it this way or this way and it's group call and blah, blah, blah. And you were going way outside the box with what this could actually look and feel like, which was supportive of who you are as a person, which also helps your clients go, okay, this is the person I'm going to be working with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to give Haley Thomas credit for the circus, like pulling that circus thing out, because I do like thinking about it as like a show or this punk rock thing or a touring band or something. And then we really settled on circus. And I have to show you part of doing business my way is I make business altars and things like that. And when I first launched, I found this in the discount Christmas bin. It's a big top for anyone who just gets audio here, but it's a glittery big top Christmas ornament. So I put that on my thing, and that's part of how I weave art into stuff too, right?
Right. I like that you build business altars too. That's awesome. What do you incorporate in your business altars?
Definitely a candle. I have a bell. I like things that sort of invoke this is sacred space. And that's been such a way better feel good way for me to run my business, right? Instead of having like tax time, I have magic money meetings and I have things that smell good. I try to incorporate all the senses. So I'll have like an essential oil, I'll have a candle. I just bought this really cool candle from a great company through Chani. Have you heard of Chani?
Yes, Chani. Yes. Love her.
Yeah. So this is super special and I only light it when I'm doing business stuff. And that's another way to weave art and play into things, right?
Right.
And then of course, tarot cards and oracle cards. And I have a deck that's just for my business.
I'm just curious what deck it happens to be, because as somebody who has way too many decks, if that's a possibility.
Too many.
It's more that I don't have enough shelf space. It's really
right. It's not a judgment. It's just like, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is my business deck. It's called Threads of Fate.
Okay.
Threads of Fate is the deck. And then this is the edition that's purpley iridescent. It's gorgeous. The card I pulled today before our talk is Surrender.
That's awesome.
It's perfect for me because I can overthink these kind of things. And that really speaks to doing business our way too, is like, how can I be more free flowing and relaxed around this has been important to me to learn how to do. And just allow things to happen and allow things to be fun and enjoyable rather than I have to present myself in a certain way so that I don't ruin it.
Right.
That could be this old business conditioning.
Yeah. How has your business supported you? I mean, you talked about it's no longer silos.
Mm-hmm.
Then how, as your business is now integrated into your whole life, how has your business supported you in all those other areas?
Well, I mean, having the courage to go out and be self-employed has just been, I'm really basking in what that actually means now that I'm not stressing myself out so much. Like I make my own schedule. I get to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I have time for naps and to hang out with my kitty cat and to go for long walks. And so the way I've structured it and the way it's working now, I feel very supported in just how I take care of myself, which then in turn leads to more ideas and more audacity and being willing to build more. And then of course the clients that I've attracted are just, I fucking love hanging out with them. It's turned into this thing where I just really am excited about who I'm working with. And it's very enriching and fulfilling for both of us, hopefully. Definitely for me. And then, starting a business, they say it brings up all your shit. And that has been true. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep.
crying on the floor and just be like, oh my God. But that's what I'm really here for at the end of the day is I am here for the growth. I'm here for the adventure. I'm here to learn how to open my heart and keep it open and learn how to love myself and others. And having a business and has just been the most excellent catalyst for that. It has been the place where I've grown and healed and learned so much. And it's never ending, right? Like I can't be bored. I've learned that about myself. Things have to be interesting. And my business definitely provides plenty of opportunities to learn and engage. And it's just very exciting.
So, as somebody else who can't be bored, um, you mentioned one way that I'm sure that you're making things that are mundane and maybe tedious, like taxes. How
Yeah.
you renaming them so you can rethink of them. How have you done that with? Because there are things in business that we all have to do that we don't necessarily like to do. And
Right.
we're a solopreneur, we're gonna just have to do them.
Yes.
What other things have you done to make them more fun, more playful, more creative?
I love that you asked because this has been a huge part of making business better for myself. Is because I think I have ADHD too. I've never been officially diagnosed, but I tick all the boxes. And when I've started treating myself as such, things have been a lot better. So one thing is gamifying stuff. And I love dice. I collect dice. Um, and I use them all the time. So if there's something mundane or tedious that I know I don't want to do, I'll roll a D6 and a D20. And that gives me anywhere from 2 minutes to 26 minutes that I'm going to focus on this thing. Right. So,
All my D&D dice are now going to be used in my business because I absolutely love that.
by the way, I also have business only dice that kind of match my business only deck. They're very sparkly and pointy. And I have them handy, but they're on my altar over there. Yeah, I have dice for different phases of my menstrual cycle too. I got red ones, I've got hot pink ones, I've got glittery ones. Also, another thing I'll do is I'll list out 6 things that I want to get done over the day or the week, and then I roll a d6 to decide which one to start first. That's been really fun. Another way is I'll do a list of ought tos, have tos. I don't actually believe in should do or have to. Everything's a choice, but taxes would fall in the ought to, have to side.
Yeah.
Want to would be like go for a walk, make art, work on a puzzle. And then I'll roll a dice. And even as I work on this list, odd as I work on that list. And so I'm weaving fun things in with have tos. Because when I first started, I was so earnest and diligent and serious that I was only focusing on like everything I should be doing to have a successful business. And I've really been able to lighten up and understand the importance of play too. Like it really is a non-negotiable to make it fun and make it interesting and give myself treats and rewards along the way as well.
I love those very tangible examples because, you hear the advice of like, you should do this thing first at the start of your day if you want it to be productive and you, whatever. Or you should do this, and you're just like, I'm leaving it up to chance. I'm going to roll my die and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I can't blame anybody but the universe who, decided on what the die is going to come up as. So.
Right. And it is important for me to feel in partnership with the spirit of my business. I am a huge believer in that. Like, that's one of the reasons I liked Joyful Marketing and Simone Soul so much. And like Elizabeth Gilbert talks about that partnering with the spirit of ideas and big magic. So I'm a huge believer in that. And so finding ways to actually be in partnership or acknowledge that partnership, it does feel good. And it gets eerie. Like it really serves me well. Like I can almost predict like what it's going to pick or the vibe is that I should be working on. And it doesn't steer me wrong. And I mix it up too. Like sometimes I do have the energy to just get the thing out of the way. But the main thing is that I'm listening to myself and I'm working with my energy and not like forcing myself into this box of what business should look like.
I
And a
love
lot
that.
on
I
that
love
way.
that. Um, I love what you just said there, but I also love this idea of I'm one of those. Well, I'm a Capricorn sun, so it's like do you got to do the things this way or whatever. And so I have an idea, and I should just check the boxes, and it doesn't necessarily give space for the spirit of the ideas, the spirit of my business to be heard. Unless my friends and I laugh that a literal 2x4 has to be hit over my head before I actually acknowledge that something is going on, and then like 4 more before I'm like, oh, maybe I should do what you're saying. Thank you. But that's just such a little way of letting that pause happen and listening to something other than this drive I have to check the boxes because that's supposedly what I'm supposed to be doing. So,
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
yeah. So, thank you. Because now I have like all kinds of ideas from, yeah, that I'm going to.
Oh, I'm so excited. I want to have more people to geek out about with this, right? Because at first I was very shy about it. Like, it was one of those things I had to confront. Like, am I a professional business owner if I make decisions with dice?
You are completely. And I love working with clients where we start the meeting by pulling a tarot or an oracle deck card. And that is like, I know I found my person if that's a good thing to do. And, yeah, it makes the meeting more fun. And it also sets the tone of like, oh, wait a minute. The card said this. Do you feel that that's accurate? How might that change what we planned on talking about today? So,
Oh my gosh, yes. And that was actually how my coaching business started at first. It was tarot inspired coaching. So you come and we pull three cards. It was a little tarot reading, but then we coach off of that, right? What does this bring up for you? What does this inspire? What do these cards mean to you? And we coach around it. That's so cool. Yeah, I love it.
what are other ways that, let's just say day one, Amanda, of her business, your very first day of business, what do you wish you had known then? Like what Amanda today would tell Amanda from day one?
Oh, first, my heart is just so full of compassion for her. I would just want to give her a big hug and be like, I love you and I'm so proud of you. I don't think I gave myself enough. I am so proud of you for doing this. It's fucking scary. Let's be real. Right? So, but God, I just got this from Haley actually. What's changed my life, and I wish I had known it years ago, is she said generally there are two kinds of entrepreneurs. There's just generally speaking, there are operators and creatives, is kind of how she worded it. And if I fall into the creative camp, which hi, I do, it's harder. It's harder for me to do the operational stuff, meaning like, put that into action, send the email, I can't even talk about it, right? Like what that shit is. But it's that technical nuts and bolts, tactical stuff that is more challenging for me. And I was, without even realizing it, I was putting it on myself that I should know how to do this stuff. I should be better at it. I should be faster. What's wrong with me? Right. It was turning into this, it was just very stressful and things would take me a really long time. And then when she shined this light on how we could look at it, she's like, I'm an operator. You're a creative. We can collaborate and partner and create shit together. And that has changed everything for me. And just learning to see myself that way and accept it, and not as something wrong with me, but just that imagine there's different kinds of people in the world, and some of us have strengths and some of us have different ones. And but as someone so my background is with like homelessness and addiction and things like that. And so I had a big time independent streak that I was using against myself, which it made it so hard to ask for help or to even admit that I needed some help. And so I wish I had learned earlier on that not only is it okay to ask for help, but that someone like me actually requires it to move forward.
Well, and even operators like myself need people who are on the creative side to help, because we'll just put our head down and keep going. And, every once in a while, like the Manny Gen helps that I get bombarded by ideas, but I don't necessarily get like the huge creative, like massive ideas type of a thing. It's like just tweaks here or there type of a situation. So for me to work with somebody like yourself, I can be like, this is what I'm thinking. And you would just blow it up. And I'd be like, I didn't even think that would be a possible, like I would never have even gone there. So, but I think it's funny when we start our own businesses, we seem to think that we should be good at all the things that are required of running a business. But in other parts of our life, we would never think that we should be able to play basketball professionally unless we were, that was and we don't think anything bad about ourselves. I'm like, I'm 5'3". I'm not going to play professional basketball, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with me about that. But when we get into business, we seem to think I should be like the best marketer and I should be able to do all my books and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. From day one, right? Like I should just somehow, and when we say it out loud, we know that it's absurd, but it's been really confronting or illuminating to like see how much that is internalized. And so I don't believe it intellectually, but inside a big part of me was believing all of that stuff. And it's been a process of letting all that go. I love your analogy of like, we don't do that to ourselves in life, right? am angry that I'm not a professional chef or like really good at housework. Like there's so many things I've accepted about myself that I'm not strong at. But in business, it was suddenly like, I'm all alone in this and I have to figure it all out quietly. Can't let anyone know that I haven't mastered all of this stuff yet.
Yeah, and we can't let anybody see that, that there are moments in our business where things didn't work out because what if they think poorly of us and then they don't want to hire us? And it's like, well, no, the more human you are,
Yeah.
the more relatable you are. So,
Yes. And that's one of my favorite things about you one of the things I admire about you is your transparency and your being a real ass human being in business as well, right? Like it's not, I think we're all just so sick of these shiny, happy, look at how perfect my life is things. And but it's hard to trust that. Even when we see other people are doing it and we hear people saying, this is what I want. I want you to be real. When it comes time to actually be real yourself, it's very uncomfortable, right? And so it's always challenging to like believe one thing, but actually to implement it and try it is another thing. And it takes courage and it takes a lot of being gentle and learning how to be kind to yourself.
yeah, because we are our own worst critics and our own worst judges. So
Brutal. I told my husband one time what was going on in my head, and this was after like many years of therapy and improvement and stuff. And he looks at me like horrified. He goes, "That sounds like hell." He was like, he really genuinely felt for me. And I was like, I've improved so much. Check this out. Right. And to him, it was still like, I can't believe you live with that. Like going, like, my point is, my brain can be so mean and nasty. Right. And so for people who also have a really rambunctious inner critic, even more grace and self compassion and kindness and gentleness is necessary. It takes a lot of courage.
I have learned to name mine Emily after the grandma on Gilmore Girls. Uh, so if that voice starts to get really annoying, I'll be like, Emily, just shut it.
Oh God, that's such a perfect inner critic. And it's called Rhonda, and she's like an alley rat, leopard print, leggings, chain smoking. I'm like, okay, Rhonda, settle down.
Love it. I love it. Is there a piece of advice that you would give anybody who right now is in the place where they're like, my business needs to be more me. It's not working and I don't know what to do next.
Hmm. And the advice being how to be more me or what
Yeah,
to,
just like what do they need to do to just get that process going? Is there a question they should ask themselves? Something
like,
along those lines.
the thing that comes to my mind that's been an eternal source of rest and rejuvenation is just like, take it easy. Let me just relax for a second. Because if I'm getting in that place where I'm like, what's next? What do I do? I don't know. I need some kind of pause and reset and just go, hang on, let me just take it easy. Another thing that really serves me is back to basics. So, well, what do I know? What has worked for me in the past? And how can I maybe incorporate a little bit more of that into my life now? Usually, if I'm getting stressed and confused and in the weeds, I'm drifting away from the basics or the solid ground of my life. And it's really good to pause and check in like, hey, do I need some water? Do I need to take a pee? Have I been outside lately? Like, when was the last time I read a good book or did something enjoyable? Right. And if we return to that, then our mind opens up to ideas or inspiration or intuition of what to do next. So stop fighting,
Yeah.
take a breath, relax, and let it be revealed rather than try to think it up.
Yep. And for those of you who are a little more analytical like myself, there's scientific studies that have proven that this is like your brain works when you're not focused on it. Like you take the shower, go on the walk, and all of a sudden you're like, how did I end up with all these ideas? It's because your brain just needed to work on it in the background without you like freaking out about it.
Yeah. And you have to be able to trust that, right? So yeah, if you need to find some data to support that, like that can I love my sweet spot, like Venn diagram sweet spot is where science and spirituality meet. So I think they often like help prove each other or support each other. And so yeah, if you need to know about how Edison or Einstein got their ideas, hi, dreaming and like going into, hypnotic states a lot of times, right? There's all kinds of data around how creative processes and fun and play support the thinking and intellectual mind, right? Help you. I remember as a social worker, I learned about how chronic stress actually lowers your IQ. And hi, if you're self-employed or even considering it, you're probably chronically stressed out. So really valuing, I know we can get in that state where we're like, I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to think, it's so urgent. And that is actually should be the signal, I think, to even though your brain is screaming at you that you don't have time to take a break, you need to take a break so your creativity can come back online and so your intelligence can actually raise and so you're not burning yourself out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you will shut down. I mean, regardless, if you keep going that way, you're going to be burnt out and you will no longer be in business for yourself.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
let's
Like you've got to, yeah, if pause now and be able to keep going much later, or just keep, throwing yourself at this thing and then you'll be burnt out some other way.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that. It's supposed to be fun, right?
Yes, exactly. Hence why I'm getting the dice out as soon as we're done with this call. So
Feel free to always send me pictures or anything. I love seeing other people's decks and dice. What are you working with?
Okay. So as soon as the altar is built, because I actually had started that process today. So I bought some crystals and a candle. So it's funny that you should mention that. So it's like, I already started that process. I just did not thought to put the dice in with it. So excellent.
Love it.
But where can the listeners find you if they want to talk with you more, check you out more?
Let's see. So my first thought is just email me. If you want to say hi, email me at kickasswithbothfeet@gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook. That's facebook.com/kickasswithbothfeet. Or if you just Google Facebook and Amanda Gold, I think I'm the first Amanda Gold that pops up. On Instagram, I'm at The Magnificent Everything. That's the brand I'm doing business under. And then my new website is launched. It's amandagoldcoaching.com.
Excellent. I'm going to have to go now and check out the new website. So
yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's out there. So come say hi.
I mean, whose website isn't a work in progress? We're always constantly tweaking it. So
can I go ahead and affirm too, for anyone that's wondering, you don't need a website. It's true. Trust it. That this is just for fun. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a huge delight and a pleasure. I'm practically floating off of my chair to get to hang out with you and your audience. Thank you.
You're welcome. I always love talking with you.
Same.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Here's What I Learned. You can find the show notes and transcripts at jackiehayes.online/podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a review and follow the show. Be sure to find me on Instagram at JackieHayes_OBM and let me know what you learned from this episode. Catch you next time on Here's What I Learned.